What's your
It's
take on
insane.
it? Beauty standards haven't changed. Still need to be a certain weight, even if you're tall.
Yeah, it's even. I mean, because I actually know someone. One of my friends actually applied to be in the Miss Thailand Universe competition or whatever, and she was too small, like 2 centimeters too small, so they didn't allow her in. Uh, in those requirements, measurements, you have to be that tall but not too tall, and whatever. It's just crazy. And I mean, especially when you look here in Thailand as well, and who's successful, you have to have a certain type. You can't be too dark skinned and things like this. So I think it's just insane. And I wonder, I mean, I'm not for cancel culture, but we live in a cancel culture. How has this not been canceled yet? That would be the first thing I would have thought is going to be canceled, but everybody still seems to enjoy it. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, well, actually, funnily enough, my students were talking about it. They said many of the older generation, like, they don't see the problem. And if they don't see a
Yeah,
problem and they see, oh, that's beautiful, you think that's the only thing beautiful? They say yes. So there's going to be no conversation. And you know that who leads the conversations? The older
yeah, yeah.
generations lead the conversations. Funnily enough, I think we do have someone from BJM who was a Miss Thailand contestant. I need to confirm that.
I
I
think so
think
too,
she was
though.
in BJM 11. I think. Do you remember Eve?
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I think she was Miss Thailand. So I might ask her friends if she will come on and talk about her experience on Miss Thailand. So
Hmm.
yeah, we should get the insider scoop.
I think
Is
so
it as
too.
more inclusive? See what it's really like. We have a couple people in the beauty pageant, so maybe they can tell us what the whole fuss is about, really. Because yeah, for us, and I
Okay, I
mean,
stop hating.
this actually leads to an interesting question, though, Sasha. Should the beauty pageants change? Like we talk about it, but do you see any chance that beauty pageants will become inclusive and go beyond like the standards that we have always had? Do you see that trend ever happening or ever taking off? Because we have LGBTQ movements for Lego sets. And I'm thinking, why don't we have a movement for more inclusive beauty pageants? Like, what do you think the barriers are to that? Or could we see it happen in our lifetimes?
The barriers to that, the male gaze is the barrier to that.
True.
Yeah, so yeah, it would be nice, but then if you think it further, then if you make it more inclusive, which would be ideal, right, in our this time. But then how you're going to judge people, on what you're going to judge people? You can't judge them on predefined beauty anymore, because everybody's beauty in a different way, right? So you can't have this bikini thing anymore. In this day and age, maybe you shouldn't have it anyways. You can't have, like, so you need to have like new standards that fit everybody, which is kind of impossible, right? So I think that's one of the reasons why it's not really practical. But also what I said earlier, the male gaze. I mean, the male audience is probably still, I think beauty pageants are the thing. Like, male audience watches it because, hey, pretty girls. Female audience watches it because, oh, pretty girls. And so right now they're quite happy with this, I think. And if the producers are happy, then I don't think they have an incentive to change.
True. If the demand is still there and there's not a whole lot of protest, yeah, that is true. But I guess the main thing is that I was just imagining the standards being more like the Academy Awards. You know, the Academy
Mm,
Awards, Best Picture is always very subjective. I think
yeah,
recently, like, they even nominated Best Picture was a Korean film, the first time in history. So I was
last
just
year, yeah.
thinking, like, something like that could be like you incorporate a few trends here and there. You don't, of course, allow those big trends to take over. But I was just thinking, it's not unheard of. Academy Awards has always been kind of a subjective what is in nowadays.
Yeah,
Because I mean, it used to be pretty well clear, like you had to be a dramatic romance movie like Titanic in order to be Best Picture. But I think recently Best Picture has started to evolve, like Black Panther, I think I'm not sure if they won
But
Best Picture, but they were there. Or, but I mean, that's just an interesting idea I have. Could we use like a kind of Best Picture criteria to maybe do this? What's your thoughts on that?
well, to quickly go into the Oscar thing, the Academy Awards, how did Chadwick Boseman not get an Oscar this year, by the way? And secondly, no one's watching the Oscars anymore. I saw the news that it dropped dramatically, under 10 million viewership this year. So I think Oscars are dead. But also to answer the question with the beauty pageants and like making it like Academy Award like, yeah, but can you just call it America's Got Talent then? Make it a talent show?
Well, that is true. I mean, I've even confused between America's Got Talent and then the like X Factor show,
Yeah.
because you still get singers on both. You still get,
Yeah.
yeah, there is a bit of overlap there. But I mean, it has always been about talent. And I was just thinking, the trend has always been towards those with unique talents. And actually, that's why I like America's Got Talent,
Yeah.
because you actually see more diversity there. Like, not just in terms of beauty standards, but I think the beauty pageants, if everyone's paying attention, it might be a good platform.